Yo, what up, street gods? Eric Kim, right? Some more thoughts. This one is on strength testing. So for me, the primary reason why I'm so interested in weightlifting is kind of like this personal curiosity about strength testing. So to figure out how strong you are, your limits to your strength, and then once you figure out what your limits is, then the seeking of superseding that. So for example, I try to rack pull 6 plates and 2 10s on each side, and was unsuccessful. I waited a few days, tried the same pull again and wasn't able to do it. My grip strength felt good and my physiology and my strength felt good. So then it's kind of this nice feeling. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like I'm just not strong enough yet. And there's kind of like this very calming zen feeling about that, because once you figure out what your strength limit is, once you've tested your strength and you cannot do it even though you tried it twice, then you're like, okay, cool, that's currently a limit, hard limit that I have right now. And so next time I try it, I'm just gonna scale back. I'll try a 10 and a 5 on each side, because I have been able to successfully do 6 plates and a 10 on each side, and then I jumped up to 6 plates and 2 10s on each side, which is 20 on each side, and I wasn't able to do that. So I'm like, okay, cool, like that's my limit. And so I think the biggest tragedy in life is actually when, also pro tip, don't get the powdery chalk. This kind of gets in your lungs, like choking on the fumes of this chalk, even though it's probably non-toxic or whatever, right? Just get the chalk in the tube. It's a lot less messy. Yeah, so I think in life a lot of people go through life not knowing what the fullest extent of their strength and power is. And you know, power and strength as metaphors tend to be too loose and soft of a concept. What's probably harder and more empirical is just physical strength, right? Like, what's the maximum weight you could rack pull? It's kind of a fun thought. It's funny because I remember the first time I saw people doing rack pulls, it looked easy, and then once you put on a lot of weights upon like 5 or 6 plates, it you know, assuming you're using chalk or maybe even using straps, right, just try to move it even an inch, and surprisingly, you know, if you have a high enough weight, you can't even budge it. Like even some of the really strong guys at the gym, the powerlifters, whatever, or bodybuilders, I'm curious, like, could they rack pull 7 plates without straps, just using chalk, mixed grip? I haven't seen nobody do it yet, so maybe it's not considered a thing. Also, pragmatic reasons of strength testing include once you actually do positively ascertain what your hard limit is in terms of your strength, it's a good way to actually build confidence and conquer fear. I think everybody's so afraid of trying something because, oh, something bad might happen, but it seems, at least with the rack pull, or if you're doing like deadlifts with a trap bar or whatever, the worst thing that'll happen typically is just you're just not strong enough to lift it yet. And that's the positive thing, and the optimism that I have is, while I might not be strong enough today for it yet, if I continue to train and practice and attempt, then certainly, naturally, progressively, you'll just get stronger over time. And I also think entrepreneurship is kind of a similar thing. You could attempt certain weights and doing things, and whether you succeed or fail doesn't really matter. What's more important is you had the courage to attempt it. And I think my personal theory is entrepreneurs should be congratulated not on the degree of how successful they got, but to the degree in which they attempted something and they stuck their, I don't know, life, reputation, their money, something on it, how much skin in the game they put.